Hey guys, Adventurous Win here. So I just saw Deadpool 3 with Wolverine in it, and spoiler alerts coming up. So if you don't want to watch or get spoiled on the movie, click away now or tap away, swipe, whatever you want to do. But I am going to reveal a few spoilers when I review this movie. So if you don't want your day ruined, then leave now, because spoilers coming up. So first thing I gotta say, I saw Avengers Endgame in the premiere when it came out, and I have to say, so I did get the bucket for the popcorn when it came out and the drink. However, I do have to say that the Deadpool and Wolverine one, very nice. The only difference is it's a lot bigger. So that's the first thing. But yeah, Deadpool Wolverine, insanely excellent movie. I also got this little cup that came with it, holographic. Very nice. Very, very nice. That was really nice. And it also came with a little topper on there also. There's a Wolverine one too. I chose to get the Deadpool one because he just looks so funny. And yeah, this is pretty much me when I was watching the movie. I was just so excited and so happy. But, so, talking about the movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, very, very consistent with continuity of other things. It has it has like stuff from the TVA, from the Loki series. It has the Void and a lot of that. As you already know, Dead Giant Ant-Man is in there. Sabretooth, obviously, in there. They also have Charles Xavier's sister, which was really, really interesting, along with a bunch of other cameos. Wesley Snipes played Blade again. That was really, really cool to see. Electro was in there. Gambit was even in there. X-23 was in there. And let's see, who else? They had the Deadpool Dead Core, which was really cool. And little Dogpool was hilarious. And then Peter, ironically, played a very major role in the film, which is hilarious because apparently all the Deadpools love Peter, and he became Peter Pool, which was so funny. Hugh Jackman in the costume for the first time, seeing it, stunning, just amazing. It's what everybody wanted. It's what everyone was waiting for. And then hopping around trying to find a Wolverine, Deadpool found many variants of him. Some were too faithful to the comics, like a very short one, because they always had Wolverine as being short a little bit in the comics. That was really funny. And then they had one that like had little stubs for knives, claws that came out. That was really funny. And then Cavill, yeah, he was a variant. That was confirmed. And then they had some other ones that were really, really funny. And I like that they had a continuity thing. It kept with the rules of the main MCU. Like I said, the TVA was in there. And it was pretty hilarious. The jokes were very good. They stab at Disney a little bit. They stab at Fox again. That's really funny. One of the best jokes, I think, was when Deadpool says he's going to Disney World. I think that was one of the best jokes that they put in there. And then Wolverine just can't stand being around Logan, but having to put up with him is just hilarious. Like, it's like Wolverine will stab him at any chance just to get him to shut up. And it's just the fact that we get the rage from Wolverine is absolutely both hilarious and awesome. And I gotta say, my favorite fight scene probably was them fighting in the Honda car. That was actually the most hilarious fight scene ever. The iconic one is obviously the one where they're fighting in the void for the first time. I mean, we all wanted to see that, but I think The funniest fight scene was the car scene between Wolverine and Deadpool, but I gotta say that probably the best Wolverine fight scene that we were able to see was when he went into berserk mode and was just mowing through all these, Deadpool variants, just mowing them down, and just having a blast doing it, because he knows it's Deadpool, and that's what he can't stand the most is Deadpool, and he's just mowing them down, and some of them are running from him, some of them are like terrified, and it's just hilarious. And then, of course, the variants of Deadpool are all over the place. You even get a floating head Deadpool zombie that kind of acts like a flying speaker or narrator kind of thing, like a referee. Is just hilarious. And then little Kid Pool was so funny, and yeah, it was just an amazing ride. I think it wasn't so much a roller coaster with the jokes. It had good pace, rounded pacing. It was a gradual, steady slope, and it brought you down gently towards the end. I don't think it was all over the place like the previous Deadpool movies have been. The jokes were very, very spot on, and they even poke fun of themselves with the jokes when Wolverine really sticks it to Deadpool about his mouth, and being the mirth with the mouth kind of thing. And it puts things in perspective, and it had some moments, it really did. And it did the classic opening with Deadpool being Deadpool with a flashback, and then bringing you up to speed while in the fight scene. That was really funny. And it kind of takes you off guard, because you don't expect that intro with Wolverine. But I thought it was just hilarious, because to me, it's like, okay, yeah, he's messing around with Wolverine's corpse, but then it's like, at the same time, it's like, okay, Logan's dead, but it's like, oh, Logan's still killing people. He's, one last kill on his claws, he's still killing, kicking ass, even though he's dead. I thought that was kind of funny. And, yeah, the TVA was just the TVA, as we know from Loki. And like I said, there's a lot of cameos in there, and then the fact that they even mentioned Kevin Feige was really, really hilarious. Like, I think that was the biggest fourth wall breaker joke they did, actually, because they're just like, no, we can't do cocaine. They know all the slang, and I thought that was really, really funny. And then punchlines, they were delivered really well. Some more hilarious than others, but they were, like I said, the pacing was very well rounded and very nice. And I think that even with the cameo of Chris Evans reviving Johnny Storm, was pretty hilarious. And this is another spoiler. He has another cameo at the end with the credit scene, where I think Chris was just having fun, because he's always been that righteous Captain America, do no wrong, never cuss, watch your language, that kind of thing. And it's like, for the first time, Chris is having fun, just flat out being a potty mouth. And I thought that was just hilarious, and it was a great credit scene. And then even before the credits scene happens, they kind of pay an homage to where they all came from. Like, they pay an homage to Hugh Jackman's and the X-Men's history and filming, and little clips from the old films. And then they also do that with Deadpool even. And I thought that was really, really nice. And Hugh Jackman's performance was amazing. I dare say, it may have been a little bit better than Logan, actually. Because, maybe it's the costume, maybe it was the berserk mode, I don't know, but it's just, this is like the most comic accurate Wolverine I've ever seen, and the most iconic one, and spot on performance by him for that role. I really hope I see him in the future. playing, Wolverine again. I thought it was fantastic. And Deadpool, I mean, if this was their last Deadpool movie, I think it ended on a very high note. I think it did. And so if Ryan Reynolds doesn't want to do this again, or even if he just wants to do a cameo, I'd be fine with that. I think this was a good, thing to wrap it up, come for full circle for the trilogy. If it's to remain a trilogy, I thought it was very well rounded, and I think this was a good high note to end it on if he wants to end it on that. And yeah, compared to Spider-Man No Way Home, which I thought was the greatest crossover of all time, I still love that movie, but I'd say Deadpool Wolverine was definitely the biggest and best crossover, because they didn't just throw people in there. They actually gave a lot of people lines, and they actually had them for more than a couple of minutes in the movie. Like, they weren't just a few cameos like thrown here and there and then you just kill them off. They were actually pretty good. Like, Elektra had a couple minutes, quite a few actually. I'd say maybe 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Same with Gambit, Wesley Snipes, Blade, and then X-23, same thing. And even Juggernaut's in there too. And Pyro's in there. I thought it was all very good. The grossest and most graphic thing I think that was in that movie was when Atara, what's her name? Charles Xavier's sister. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry. She literally kills Chris Evans' Johnny Storm, rips his skin off, and he's alive for a brief moment, and then he just falls into pieces, like literally just a bloody, bony, gutty mess. Like, that's probably the most graphic thing in the movie, despite the fact they're dropping F-bombs like you wouldn't believe. Like, I'm surprised that they just went with that. It's really, really funny. And, they gave Gambit a lot of funny jokes too, actually. And Wesley Snipes, he was just being Snipes. He was just being in his character Blade, which was really, really cool. And then Elektra from Daredevil, from the Netflix series, she was in there. She did fantastic. X-23, a little homage, her sitting at the fire with Logan again, talking about her Logan from that universe to him. That was really, really nice. It was, kind of paid homage to the Logan film. Overall, if I would scale 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 9. There's like a couple moments like that where it just lagged a tiny bit, just a tiny bit, but it's not really anything I could care about. And then there's like maybe a couple jokes, like maybe 1 or 2 that went way over the top, but then they came back from that really briefly. But I mean, it's an R-rated movie, so I mean, yeah, you can do whatever you want with that, and it's Deadpool. I mean, come on. So I still give it a 9 out of 10. And then continuity, very, very well done. Very gradual. Like I said, it's a very nice ride. It's well rounded. I thought it was executed perfectly. The choreography, very well executed. The fight scenes were fantastic. The look, the costumes were fantastic. The acting and the tones were fantastic. The emotion was even there. It had good pacing, and I highly recommend this movie. And I wouldn't be surprised if this movie ends up making $1 billion. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my review of Deadpool 3 and Wolverine. If you like this video, like it, share it, comment, subscribe. It always helps the channel out. And I'll see you guys on my next video.